think this is working by now. Yeah, so I'm driving. I have, I don't know, another 10 miles to go here, and then it'll tell me what to do next. So I figured I'd make a video, because it's been a while. The last video I made you was in Pittsburgh. So this is, by the way, probably going to be a long video, because I'm not looking to see how long it is. I'm looking at the road. So last video I made you was in Pittsburgh. Today is Monday morning. And when did I leave off? I guess I left off at the sports game, the Pirates game. And that was fun. Chester the Pierogi did win. After that, it was mostly wedding prep for the next several days. I don't know what day that was, but that was mostly wedding prep, keeping Steph calm. There was a day, I think, after that where, so Steph has Evelyn, and then Steph's cousin Nicole, I believe because Nicole's father is was Mary Grace's brother. And so Nicole has two kids, Emma and Wyatt, who are 5 and 7 to Evelyn's 6. So Wyatt and Emma, at first couldn't care less about me, which is fair. Evelyn was also distracted by cousins, not me. But then one day I took the kids for the whole day so that the grown-ups could actually get something done rather than dealing with kids all day. And they were super nervous. Evelyn's fine, but Evelyn with the other two is a disaster, and Nicole and Joe aren't the strictest parents, meaning that generally Wyatt wreaks havoc and Emma and Evelyn join in. So, I mean, it was fun. We packed sandwiches. We went to the Blue Slide Playground, which thankfully is actually called on Google the Blue Slide Playground, because otherwise, I don't know how we would have gotten there. We spent several hours at the playground, and then we went for water ice, and then we went to a place called Creative Reuse. Philly has a similar place. It's called the Resource Exchange. It's at approximately 3rd and Cecil B. It might be 2nd and Cecil B. And you can donate stuff there, but it's not clothing. There's some clothing. It's mostly craft type stuff. The one in Philly actually ends up with a lot of office and school supplies because film sets need, for example, an office, and so they buy a whole load of binders and they don't want them afterwards, so they donate them to the Resource Exchange. They've got buttons and yarn and fabric and papers and beads and cardboard tubes and old magazines, etc., etc., etc. So the kids had been asking me to make a rocket ship. I said, fine, let's go to the Resource Exchange. I said, your budget is $5 a piece. You can either use your $5 yourself, you can combine with each other and have a budget of $15, whatever you want. And I went and got buttons for yarn and some really nice yarn. There was some brown Tweedy Aran yarn with, I believe it was alpaca inside. It was very soft and very nice. And the kids were really good about staying in budget, and they got themselves some supplies. And I think the following day they made their rocket ship, which had a suspicious visual likeness to a penis. In fact, I had wanted to have a bachelorette party for Steph, just for entertainment's sake, and she nixed that and then saw the rocket ship Wyatt made and was like, is this making up for the lack of bachelorette party? I was like, your child did that? It had nothing to do with it. So then after that, all 3 kids were decided I was their best friend. Emma and Wyatt are big cuddlers, which was cute. They would just come up and hug me. It was unexpected and adorable. And everybody else got stuff done that day, which is good. Finishing centerpieces and cake toppers and seating charts, rearranging them again to make sure that the old people had seats near where they needed to have seats, etc. And then, honestly, a big part of my job was keeping Steph calm. A big part of what I did. I was like, it's totally fine. We'll take care of it. like, nothing, it's not gonna be a problem. I was also at one point put in charge of the rings, which is a slightly overwhelming task. I released them to Wyatt the ring boy, like seconds before he walked down the aisle, and then he failed to hand them over to Jason the best man, meaning I had to grab them and hand them over during that ceremony, which is kind of funny. The night before, which was really a good idea, the house was full of wedding prep stuff, and we took it all over and packed our cars and everything, but it was just... So anyway, we ended up going to the hotel. We planned to go to the hotel the night before. So Friday night we slept at the hotel, which was really a good plan. Because once we got there, it was sort of like this visual feeling of, we're done. This is it. It's going to happen. We're ready. And the ceremony was lovely. We walked. Nothing went wrong. Everything was totally fine. Although in a hilarious moment, I went to print the programs and the placemat things, the like scheduled event card things, but I said straight up, I proofed everything. I was like, I'm not checking these names because I don't know most of these people. I don't know how they spell them. Mary Grace did the name typing and spelled Evelyn's last name wrong, C-Y-R-O-R, Kyror, instead of Cryer. We judged her hard for that one. I was very entertained. So the wedding was lovely. Cleanup was totally fine. Sunday, so I don't know if you ever met my friend T the Amazing. He's a circus performer. It turns out he's kind of a big deal. He's really a big deal. Who knew? He's like the top aerial instructor and hoop instructor in America, at least. He is invited to perform anywhere, to perform and teach, instruct everywhere in the world, and they pay his travel fees. So he basically can go on vacation anywhere that has circus, which is most places, for free. And they pay him to teach. Like, not only do they pay all of his expenses, but then they also pay him $500 a day to teach. I think I picked the wrong job. I'm hoping my phone will tell me if I'm supposed to get off the New Jersey Turnpike, but I suspect I'm supposed to stay on it. So then T was working. He came to Pittsburgh and he was like, hey, he spoke to the circus school and was like, can I teach a workshop and you house me? And they were like, yeah, totally. 1,000 times yes. So he also got to use the space to give me and Evelyn our first silk lesson. So the night before, Evelyn just totally had a breakdown. It was a huge amount of stress leading up to it, and she was really overwhelmed by everything, and then her mom's going away for a week, and everything is changing, and all the people are going, so that was very stressful for her. So when I first told her about circus, she was like, no, absolutely not, I'm terrified, it's not happening. I was like, fine, let's put on leggings, we're gonna go meet Uncle T for lunch, we're just gonna go in and look at what he's doing, and then we'll take him for lunch. And then there was some brief confusion about him being an aerial artist, but not teaching us how to be Ariel the Little Mermaid. That was brief confusion. We did work that one out. And then, of course, she got there and was 1,000% in. She saw what it was and was like, oh, I got this. Okay. This sign says, reduce speed, get ticket, which seems to imply to me that, oh, it's a toll booth. I thought they were telling me if I go slowly, then I'll get a ticket. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I would go slowly to avoid getting a ticket, and I don't understand right now. But now I do. Are we green? Go. Thank you, Easy Pass. So Sunday, I was supposed to do Quidditch on Sunday, but then the circus lesson was at the same time, so I didn't do Quidditch. I did circus instead, and that's fine. And then there was a minor crisis because Steph had bought this, like, travel, basically like the Visa card where you preload it, that kind of thing, for use in Canada on her honeymoon, and couldn't find it. And so we had to, like, look everywhere for it. But we found it, and then I left and went to Parf, to the Ren Fair, and visited Bill, and gave him the weird things and also some wedding leftovers, and finally met Sarah Moody. She seems lovely. She knits. She's a real person now. I know who she is and that she exists. And then went home, got home super late to find out Evie there, which I half expected, half didn't. It was good to see her. And then slept there. And then this morning, I met Chappie Myers for breakfast at Elkins Perk, which was lovely. Breakfast was lovely. Chappie was, as always, lovely for half an hour, and then it was about an hour and a half. Now I am in the car. I believe I'm in New Jersey. I think I'm going to be in New Jersey for the rest of my life. Although I just got to New Jersey, so who can say? I'm on my way right now, so the next few days are visiting days. I'll try and make little videos with everybody who I see who you know, and I'm sorry I didn't do that with Chappie or Bill. I didn't really think about it until just now. Right now I'm on my way to see Erin Goss and her kid, who's probably not a baby anymore, Bera. And then I'm gonna see Deanna. And then I'm gonna go see my friend. Oh, okay. I have a friend named Tamar. We've never met. She was my Torah learning partner on the phone for like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. She lives in Far Rockaway, New York, so I'm gonna go say hi to her, because why not? And then I'm gonna meet my friend from University, Hillary, which will also be lovely. And I'll crash around there. And then today's Monday, so then Tuesday I'm gonna wake up and see Allison Laikahanen from Platform 1, that alley. Don't actually know how to pronounce her last name. And then moving on up to the Boston area, where, what do you know up there? You know Adita Feidelson? And I will see TV Amazing again, which will be nice. And then a bit north to say hi to Nigel. And then on to Maine, where I will make videos for you with our relatives, which will be exciting. Yeah, that's all I got. I don't actually know how long this video is, but I'm hoping I haven't missed turns in the meantime. So, you know, love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!